Hi everybody, welcome. So great to be with you. Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, or good night. That's a that's a line from that movie. What was the name of that movie with Jim Carrey? Oh my gosh, I forget the name of it. Oh, have to take some more vitamins for memory. The Truman Show. Ah, the little gray cells are still working. But he always says, good morning, good evening, good night, whatever. It's a very cute movie. It's very profound, actually. But anyway, so a few very, very important things that I need to tell you about. We've been going over this wonderful discovery from not from Miriam Adahan, but many, many doctors do not address it. But if we do have this MTHFR gene mutation, I do want to tell you that you need to get tested by your doctor. There are two types. There's the one that comes, it's called the heterogeneous type. There's the homogeneous type. It's important for people to know, the different variations of it, and it's important to work with a professional. I'm not a doctor. I should always say that every single video. Mary Manahan's a doctor, but she's a psychologist, not a doctor, medical doctor. So you want to get this, but it's really important to get it. A lot of the genetic testing that they're doing now, like the 23andMe, you can also request health profiles from them. So I am going to investigate through some sources, some professional sources, which is the best genetic testing to get. But that will really help you also when you work with a nutritionist or a wellness coach like myself or somebody else, to know what your genetic predispositions are, so that when we're telling people, we're working with people, with supplements, that we are able to really address some of the genetic issues that you may have. So, when we went over this MTHFR, which I have been going over for the past 2 weeks, and you can watch those on YouTube. Last week's was, I think, January 25th, and the week before was January 18th, where I discussed this very, very important issue. And I'm learning more and more about it. In fact, even on Facebook, there are groups for MTHFR deficiency gene mutation. So I joined a couple of those groups. I didn't even realize, I did mention, I didn't even realize how profound an important topic this is, and so few doctors know about it. So you get your blood test. You ask your doctor, this is very important information, ask your doctor for a CBC, a complete blood count, a hormonal panel, vitamin B12, vitamin B9, okay, your thyroid functions, which is free T3 and free T4, as well as TSH, your homocysteine level. This is so mind-blowing for me, because I was always told, I've been vegan, I've been into health foods since God knows when, since I'm about 17, I got into health foods. And I always had the weirdest blood work, and I never knew that it was caused by this gene mutation, that my body was not able to metabolize a lot of the things I was ingesting because I had this gene mutation. And a few years ago, Mary Madahan gave a class on this, and I went to my doctor, and I had these tests done, and I do have the gene mutation. So I've been working on addressing it. Okay, and my homocysteine level was always high, very high, and it didn't make sense because I've been a vegan for 7 years. I've been prior to that, a vegetarian, health food, macrobiotic, all kinds of healthy eating for many, many years, and it didn't make sense. My blood work never made sense. And they always told me my thyroid levels were right, but if you have this gene mutation, it doesn't show up on your thyroid levels. But I always knew that I had some kind of thyroid problem because my hands were always cold, my feet were always cold, my circulation wasn't good. I had a lot of the symptoms of thyroid, but it didn't show up on the regular thyroid test. So I really want to urge you people to really address this, okay? Your vitamin D levels you want to check. Of course, that's That's a no-brainer. Everybody needs to do that, especially with the pandemic. Your liver functions. Your MMA, she says, which is your methylmalonic. I'm going to spell that for you guys. METHYLMALONIC. Okay, methylmalonic acid, which determines if your B12 is being utilized. Okay, this is really important information. B12 is so important for your nervous system. As for the MTHFR DNA test, there are two main varieties. There's one called the C677T, that's the one I have, and A1298C. If your doctor resists, please tell him, my therapist told me to do this. So I'm your therapist, okay? I have a doctorate in thinkology, like in the Wizard of Oz, right? I see Panina smiling. Yeah, this is like, but you could just say, my doctor, my therapist, okay? I'm your doctor, I'm your therapist, I'm your whatever I am, okay? You know, if he says your blood work is normal, he knows that blood tests show how much vitamin B is in your bloodstream, but not how much has permeated into the cells, okay? So, yeah, your B, it could show that your B's are normal, just like it showed that my thyroid function was normal. But with this MTHFR testing, it can show that your thyroid is normal, but when you do the MTHFR testing, it can show you that your thyroid is off. And they don't do that. Regular doctors do not do this, and they don't know about this. And I have been learning more and more about this. About 40% of people from European descent suffer from this MTHFR gene mutation. Which to me, I don't know, nobody seems to know how, why, whatever. My theory, being the doctor of thinkology that I am, is that trauma, I think personally, trauma affects the body. And of course we know that especially European Jews, I would imagine, went through so much trauma between everything that's gone on in the past few centuries, that it can affect your whole body, mind, genetic makeup, you know. We all know that trauma affects the brain, and the brain affects every part of your body. So this all makes so much sense to me. To get the MTHFR test, you can see an OB/GYN or a hematologist. If your doctor refuses, you can test at home with a swab kit from vitabens.com. VITABENS.com. Results will indicate if you're homogeneous, which means you inherited two copies from parents, or heterogeneous, you inherited it from one copy. I have a feeling that I inherited it from my father's side, because my father was an alcoholic. A lot of alcoholics or drug addicts or people who are addicted to substances, they have this MTHFR gene mutation. And my father's father was an alcoholic. So all this makes a lot of sense. Okay, so please go to your, I don't know what your insurance is or anything like that, but hopefully you can find a doctor who will cooperate with this and do this with you. If not, I'll try to get you some names of doctors who will. I'm going to actually call up, some doctors and find out if I can get a list of doctors who will cooperate with this. Being that I'm a health wellness coach, I'll explain to them that a lot of my clients, suffer from a lot of these things and they need more information. So please, I'm going to open up for questions and comments. I do want to stop the recording that will go onto YouTube. I'll just give you my email on the recording. My email is NechamaTK1234, NECHAMATK1234 @gmail. I'll say it one more time, NECHAMATK AMA. The M is like AMA is like American Medical Association. Not okay. TK. Forget the not. You don't want to put that in my email. That's what I probably should change it to. TK1234@gmail.com. Listen, American Medical Association has a lot of good things to say and do, but they're missing some pieces, and some of the things, they're influenced by the drug companies, which makes sense. So, we need to do a lot of our own investigation. So that's why I'm here, hoping to help people get well and stay well and not have to spend thousands of dollars doing it. So I hope my experience can benefit you and you don't have to suffer as much as I did. Can you imagine 67 years of not understanding what's going on with my body and all the challenges that I had? And I'm so in gratitude to Mary Manahan for opening up my eyes to this, and she keeps stressing it every single class that she does. She keeps stressing this information because so many people don't know about it. So I hope I've enlightened you a little bit. She has so much more to say, but we're going to open up right now because we like to keep the YouTube short because people don't have too much of an attention span these days, probably because of the MTHFR gene mutation. But anyway, and a lot of other reasons also. So we'll close the recording.